Cool. Looks like we're live. I'll have to give it a minute to get some people in here. But if you guys are watching this on YouTube after the live stream, welcome everyone to Jukes Lounge. Today we have a very, very special guest and a very special protocol, actually. This protocol won funding from, we all know, Eric and his team because they were contributing to burning Tink. So if you don't know what I'm talking about by now, I'm sure you know about the project Ascendant. And super cool, like anime themed UI. Like the UI on this one is absolutely insane, and I love the theme behind this one. And yeah, so I'm honored to have the team on. Two of the members of the team. We've got our good friend Sal that I'll invite on here, and obviously you man must know Builder Lee. Builder Lee, by the way, guys, I need to rename this guy to Active Lee because Builder Lee is so active liking my tweets. This guy's such a big supporter, bro. Like he's always active on Twitter. So welcome, guys. How you doing?
Hey Jukes, how's it going? Glad to be here.
Yeah, man, it's good. It's awesome it's great to speak to you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's glad to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you on.
I'm happy. Yeah, let's show you guys what we've got going on with Ascendant, really.
Yeah.
What we're building for the future.
Yeah, man. Ascendant is pretty sick. Like I know, like we spoke about some things in the DMs, like about like Element and stuff and some different protocols, and it's cool to see that like hybrid NFT stuff because I can see you really liked it with Element and you kind of like introduced it into into Ascendant and have your own twist on it and stuff. So
yeah, we wanted to try and lock up as much supply as possible to increase scarcity, and it's like another form of staking, but you can actually move the NFTs around to different wallets. So it's like a liquid kind of staking.
Yeah.
We just basically wanted to try and lock up as much supply as possible, reward people for holding the NFTs, and good.
I'll give it a minute to get people in. So like while we're here, what like got you into crypto? Like I'd like to get to know you a bit. Like what got you into crypto? What got you into TitanX? How did this story happen?
Honestly, I have no idea how I got here. So basically, I used to work. Well, I worked for a couple of managed services companies across the south of the UK. And I worked on Crossrail on the Elizabeth line in London. Yeah, so
I use that a lot, man.
yeah, that's good. We helped the engineers down there to like be safe. Basically, we put up loads of Wi-Fi kit up there, so and they carry around those like radioactive gadgets in their pockets and stuff, so we can monitor them in there. But I managed the backup and storage stuff on the Elizabeth line as well. So I did some
pretty sophisticated stuff, man.
I did a county council, like a Convolt sort of backup consultancy gig as well in London, one of the London boroughs. I mean, I've been everywhere really. I've been to Reading, been to Guildford, and all around Milton Keynes. Replaced a few backup storage devices in the data centers up there. Also, recently, like the last couple of years, I was the Azure architect for working on the Carnival ships, the massive cruise liners and stuff. So Aurora and Iona and Britannia and stuff. So I built the exchange servers on there.
That's basically the cloud stuff, right?
Sorry?
Is that the cloud stuff?
So they have I don't know how much I can
no, don't worry, it's fine.
They've got two kind of hybrid servers. So they have storage which is shared between two physical hosts for redundancy, and basically I just I deployed the exchange servers on that piece of kit for Iona and Britannia, and then I managed the other 12 basically the whole fleet. So yeah,
This
I've done
guy's
a
busy
few.
Lee.
Yeah.
Busy Lee.
Yeah, I like. I've been a system administrator for probably 10 plus years now. I
Okay.
used to be a motor mechanic. I used to work for Ford
Mhm.
down in the south. Not going to name the,
Okay.
but yeah, you know,
That's fine.
I
Yeah,
like
that's
my
fine.
cars. I like PCs and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's just natural progression, really. And during COVID, it was kind of hit and miss because the basically we didn't know what was going to happen with lots of people lost their jobs during COVID and stuff. So
Yeah.
I was trying to find another way of generating income, and yeah, then I went down the massive rabbit hole of trading and like psychology and all that sort of stuff. And
Mhm.
yeah, it's
It
been
was
a long journey.
yeah, it was kind of a crazy like the world went so crazy, right? Like think about it. It went from normal life. We heard about this COVID in the news. No one cared about it. And then out of nowhere, it's like bam, lockdown. No one can leave the house.
Yeah.
Everything's closed. Every day felt like a Sunday. And then you're on your phone all day, right? And you're on Twitter all day, etc., etc. You're on these things, and you see like Dogecoin popping off, and you're like, "What the hell is this Dogecoin?" Like that's how I first heard about it.
Yeah.
Like that's when I first like realized how crazy this world was. Like
I think it was
Dogecoin popping off. Like,
I think it was February 2021, where I noticed that Bitcoin was at like 60,000. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on over here? And then
yeah.
it was like Elon Musk and was it GameStop? GameStop era.
Oh
So it was
god,
all
that was
that sort
crazy.
of stuff
Yeah.
that kicked off, and that kind of got me into like looking at, hang on a minute, what's going on here? And that's how I got into crypto. So I managed to survive like the lunar crash and all that sort of terrible
Oh
stuff.
god, that was bad.
FTX crash,
That
and I
was
was just like,
bad, man.
Jesus Christ, what's going
You
on?
know, I was sorry to cut you off. I was at a wedding, and I remember like I'm not gonna go into it, but I used to like work at weddings and stuff, and I was working at a wedding, and I remember like I'm just at work, so I'm just doing my job, but I can remember hearing like some people talking about Luna, and they were bullish on Luna, like so bullish, or like yeah, put it all in,
I
blah
was
blah
I
blah.
was I was so bullish on Luna as well.
Yeah,
I put
and
so
then
much money in Luna. Oh
at the
Jesus.
time, like I didn't have anything in there. Like I think I can't remember what I was investing in back then. It was probably like buying Hex or something, but I was not invested in Luna, and I always thought it was a pretty interesting protocol. And then when it just crashed, bro, I felt bad. I felt so bad for those people. I was like thinking
Yeah,
about
absolutely.
what
Yeah.
happens to people when crypto goes down, man. It's not a joke. Like it's pretty deep. When there's a crash
Yeah.
like Luna, it's
When it
it's
lost
pretty
its
deep.
peg, it was game over, really.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, because I was compounding. I was I was using the Anchor protocol, so
Yeah. Yeah.
some of it was using the like 20% interest, just in stable coins, and then my other half was on actually compounding Luna as it kept on going up. So I just kept on buying more, putting more as collateral, borrowing more, and all that sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
that's kind of yeah. I mean, that's kind of yeah. You know,
Yeah, I think that's kind of shows you the craziness of crypto, bro. Like
yeah,
when you're just these coins are just going up forever. And like the thing with I think it was the Anchor protocol that had like, the 20% APR on
yeah.
stable coins, which was
hmm
ridiculous, right? You think about it now, that's a glitch in the matrix if that works, you know? That's crazy. Um, but how did you so Luna crash life is probably I presume it was a bit rough, but you got through it. How did you
So
get from
no,
there
yeah,
to
I was still
Titan?
working as a contractor throughout that. I only quit my job recently, like last October.
Oh.
That's when I got full time in crypto.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, wasn't it that it just seems ever since finding TitanX, it just seems to just warp. Like
Mhm.
it goes so
Can't believe,
quickly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can't believe it came out in
Um,
2023, October. Like what?
yeah. Yeah, I
That's
managed
crazy.
to. I was watching the Prairie Banana. What was his name?
Yeah, Peru banana. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when I like looked at the white paper and stuff and just thought, no, this is it. This is you know, it's quite easy to grasp, supply and demand. You know, the yield is quite high on the Ethereum payouts and all that sort of stuff. So I did the short term miner game, and then just kind of like spread it out even further. I kept on like compounding and did like a ladder strategy, and that worked out really well.
Yeah.
And at the end, like halfway through the year, I was just literally purely just doing like max day miners and stuff. So,
yeah, I think
it worked out really well.
I think we're doing the same kind of strat there. Like I did the same with the compounding and the ladders and stuff. So I think that worked incredibly well. Like I hope we get those days back.
Yeah, no, I think we will. Crazy. Hopefully, something will come along and we'll bring those days back.
You built those compounding kind of elements into Ascendant, right?
Yeah, we so we increased the how much we provide the Ascendant Pride. So we basically 72% of the TitanX that goes into the buy and burn buys DragonX. So that increases the Ascendant price as well. And then that goes 20% of that goes to the rewards, and then the 80% of the DragonX then buys Ascendant, which increases the price. 70% then goes to the Pride to recycle for future auctions. And then the other 20% burns.
We'll get into it in the diagrams. I've got like a whole breakdown of it.
Nice.
So we'll get into it. But we'll get into it now. I think we've been on for like about 10 minutes. So hopefully people who wanted to, attend are here. Basically, if you guys watch me, I like to do these diagram breakdowns basically of the white paper. I just go through the white paper and make these diagrams because I'm a visual person and I learn the best through visualizing things. And words being all over pages can confuse people. So hopefully this will make it easier to understand for those who want to learn about Ascendant, what Ascendant is all about. So let's get into it. Firstly, we've got the kind of overview here. So these are kind of the core fundamentals of the coin. So really, what is Ascendant? Ascendant is like it's a token / hybrid NFT project, right? And it has all of the kind of typical kind of the best kind of tokenomic practices that we found in TitanX built into it. So this is basically what we're going through here. Is there any of these in particular you wanted to mention? I'm sure people can see there's farming, enhances farming, you get DragonX rewards, hyperinflationary. So it's a cap supply.
Yeah, it's now cap supply. So we had a 10-day distribution period where the majority of the tokens got shared out to the participants. So it's now cap supply and it's burning every day. I think we've burned just over 10% of our supply already, and we're on day 18. So yeah, it's hyper deflationary. DragonX rewards goes to the NFT holders. So once you got your tokens, you go to the mint page and you select which tier you want to mint. At the moment, it's really cheap, so everyone's just minting loads of tier 8s, which gives you an 8% bonus of the DragonX reward pool.
Yeah. I like what you've done with NFTs actually. I quite like the you've built that. We'll get into it in a bit, but you got like that rarity aspect of it with the different types that can come.
Yeah, I
think that's a really cool addition to add. That's something we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, so the tiers themselves, they cost the same, but we've added like 7 male images, 2 female images, and 1 golden image, and that kind of just it doesn't like obviously cost any more, but they might fetch a premium just because of their rarity. So that's kind of like where we were going with it, and we just like kind of see what if the market did put a premium on them or not. So
I mean, perhaps it will happen. I mean, it gives me flashbacks. I don't know if you ever played Counter-Strike, the game, but if you know the game Counter-Strike, you'll know the skins on there, and it just gives me flashbacks to like opening a bunch of skin boxes and seeing if I get a good one.
That's what we were trying to go for. So it's
Yeah,
pot
that's
luck if you get a golden. I think Chiz got like a couple of golden ones just in a row. So yeah,
wow.
it's pretty
Shout
cool.
out.
Mhm.
She's got those goldens, man. Lucky guy. So yeah, I mean, we'll get into it in a bit. So it's a for those who don't know, the auction, there's an auction system and it has a perpetual auction system. So very similar to like Vault, for those who know Vault. It had a 10-day kind of distribution phase, and then it has that buy and burn, but that buy and feed part to the protocol, which then buys the tokens off the market and then it auctions off those tokens. We'll get into that in more detail. The bonded LP, I believe the main LP here is DragonX. Is that right?
Yeah, that's the single. We decided not to web out LPs yet, just because the liquidity is low, and we kind of wanted to make sure that we get a good ratio with the DragonX, and I think we achieved that really.
Yeah.
So we launched kind of at the right time, near its lows, and yeah, I think it's bouncing between like 50 and 80 Ascendant per DragonX. So yeah,
Nice.
pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And obviously being bonded to DragonX is bullish because DragonX to the 100x has a very powerful team behind it, and they're building, I'm sure, more and more utilities for it. So believing in the future DragonX and then bonding to it. I mean, we saw when DragonX did the last run, like Baby Dragon and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Truly ridiculous, crazy runs. So
Yeah.
what I would say
And
to
the
people is
tokenomics
those.
for it are perfect as well. As soon as, because yeah, I mean the Ethereum for the day 369 is still there. It's not really being used that much. And I think the DAO, which is going to be released soon, is going to really, kick into high gear. So I think, yeah, we bonded at the right time, and yeah, as soon as TitanX mining becomes profitable again, then more Ethereum will flow into DragonX as well. So
Yeah,
it's looking good.
yeah, man. I'm excited for the mining to become profitable, and when we start to see those payouts fill out again, because you know that those payouts are going 50% to DragonX, so that's going to pump DragonX, and then everything on top of it's going to do well. So
Yeah,
that's very sick. And then obviously one of the main things with this is, well, one of the kind of the main things, especially in the marketing, was the enhancing the farming. So I'm sure everyone here knows. Basically, Ascendant takes some of the TitanX that comes into the auctions, and it will send that to the buy and burn contract of Tink, which is on farms, which allows there to be more burning of Tink, which will push the APR up of Tink, and that's just a huge kind of bullish catalyst for the whole ecosystem. You'll get more people adding LP. Having good price on Tink is actually a very good thing for the ecosystem. So that's definitely one of the main things there that's really important with this protocol.
Yeah, we wanted to. So most people just burn 20% TitanX, and we wanted to utilize that 20% to like be useful to buy and burn Tink. Like you said, if we had more participation and more like throughput, more TitanX into the protocol, then I think we could have made more of a dent in the Tink price. But it's participation has been low because of the market and stuff. But I think when the market kind of becomes more bullish again, hopefully more TitanX will flow into the protocol and we'll burn more Tink. Yeah, increase the APRs on farms. Yeah.
And that's why I really like the perpetual auction, because as soon as things go bullish again, you're bonded to DragonX, then you take your TitanX, enter the auctions, and the APR for your auction should be higher, theoretically anyway. So that means that more money goes in, and when more money goes in, there's more Tink binding. So it's a very sophisticated system, right? So for the viewers watching. And the last thing here that we have to mention is, okay, what is this DragonX Awards? Well, really, why are you minting these NFTs, and what do these NFTs give you? Are they just something you hold with an image and there's a bit of rarity to them? What these NFTs give you guys is access to payouts in the form of DragonX. And this really links into a lot of different things that the protocol will get into. There's this idea of fusion, and you can do some clever stuff with your payouts, like compounding them and stuff. So we'll get into this in a bit, but basically you can earn DragonX as a basically passive income reward here. And if you ability in DragonX again, then this is something which I'm sure people will be wanting to get their hands on, right? So that's the core elements of the protocol. So what I would do is now just move on to kind of the next stuff here. Some of the stuff is just information. So this is stuff you'll find in the white paper. I decided just to add it as info so people understand what these things are. So there's a max supply of, I think it's 1.3 billion, 1.343 million
that's right.
tokens.
Yeah, we decided to sorry, go ahead if you want to.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Let's.
Yeah, just originally it was going to be a 1 billion supply, but we decided to like have some already minted in the Ascendant Pride to kind of balance, because we weren't too sure how it was going to play out. If it was going to be enough on the market to then like have a big Ascendant Pride to make it sustainable. So we kind of wanted, that's basically why we had like some tokens already in the Pride. So after day 10, it doesn't just drop like a rock. There's like a sustainable amount still, but it's still cap supply. So
so the I actually think the Flare protocol are doing something similar here with they've got a similar kind of system with the auction stuff, and I believe feel free to stand and correct me if anyone in the comments knows, but I believe when I spoke to Speed Crypto, they're going to have like a pre-mint in their kind of auction allocation, just because you never know with participation stuff, and at the end of the day these tokens will bring in TitanX. So the auction,
and they're eventually going to be burnt anyway, aren't they? Eventually, so and the auction system basically forces participation. So having just a little boost to the system at the start is good. I think I don't see it as an issue. So basically, for those who don't know, there was 2 stages to the kind of distribution here of Ascendant. Stage 1 lasted 10 days, and that was essentially an auction system. Users come in with their TitanX or ETH, I believe. Is that right? And then they will enter the auction for the Ascendant tokens. And every single day during the 10 days, you had 100 million Ascendant tokens being auctioned off. So I'm sure if you guys know about Vault and you're fans of Vault, you understand how this kind of system here works. And then afterwards, in phase 2, you have this pool they've called it the Ascendant Pride, and that's going to buy tokens off market, store it in this like pool, the Ascendant Pride pool, and then that's going to then be auctioned off afterwards. And as Builderly just mentioned, the Pride pool will already have a pre-mint of 288 million tokens, and then that's going to be added up by basically the buy and burn, adding that. So there we go. Don't spend too long on this bit because it's more just like information for people to understand. But we'll just go to this here. So as I actually just mentioned, so this is literally what I just said. But with the Ascendant Pride, how it gets funded is it has a 288 million token pre-mint, and then it has 70% allocation of the buy and burn. So if you imagine the buy and burn, when it cools, 70% of the tokens that it buys will then get stored into this Ascendant Pride pool, and then 8% of those per day will be auctioned off. So that's basically how that works. And let's see. Okay, I think we'll go to the main thing here. Yeah, the buy and burn, because I think people want to see the distribution here. Cool. So if you guys are aware of like Hyper and stuff, there's almost like 2 buy and burn contracts. There's the TitanX part, which is the buy TitanX contract, and then you have the buy and burn on Hyper. Because obviously, if Hyper takes ETH as an input, there's 2 functions you need to call to buy the TitanX and then buy the Hyper and burn it. With Ascendant, because it's like a layer 3 protocol, so it's, if you imagine the LP TitanX here, then you imagine DragonX here, you have Ascendant on top, it's like a layer 3. It requires 3 basically public functions that get called, I believe, together, I think. But you'll see this is essentially what happens. So
I have a high level overview here. So the TitanX first comes into here, then it goes into the DragonX one, and then the Ascendant one. And this is the GigaBrain model. This is actually what's going on here, the GigaBrain model.
Nice.
I actually had a question about this. When I looked on the website, I don't know if I just missed it, but is this something you call with like does this require just one user function call to route
it's
through
just
the whole thing?
we managed to combine it into one single call, one buy and burn call.
Yeah, because I was looking at the website, I was like, so like I was like, it just says TitanX, it just says
There's only one buy and burn. What's going on?
Yeah. I was expecting like 3. But yeah, this is how it routes in here.
Yeah.
So as I understand it, all of the TitanX that enters the auctions goes into this first bubble, right? Is that right? And then that gets split up like this. So when this gets called, 8% will go to Genesis, 20% think buy and burn. Okay,
yeah, that's
so
massive. Yeah,
that's huge. Yeah, that is actually a huge allocation. So it's not a joke. 20% is going to buy and burn Tink, and then the remaining 72% buys up DragonX, and then it goes into this bubble, right? And this filters through like this. So 20% of the DragonX it just bought goes to this NFT rewards pool, and then 80% of the remaining DragonX will buy Ascendant, and then it'll go into this final bubble, and that gets split like this. So 30% of that gets pure burned, and then 70% of it funds the Ascendant Pride. And I'll ask Builderly in a second what his thoughts were on, splitting everything up in these kind of percentages. But the way I see it is you're kind of getting more use case out of, because it's a cap supply anyway. We know no new tokens can come out. So it kind of makes sense to keep funding this Ascendant Pride, because the more tokens you can fund this with, it means obviously the longer this thing runs, and every day the Ascendant Pride tokens get auctioned, the tokens that enter this pool bring in more capital because people have to auction their TitanX for them. And then that TitanX routes back in and it goes into this whole system. If you just did everything buy and burn, then obviously those burn tokens can't do anything anymore. They're just burned. They're non-existent, right? Whereas these tokens in the Ascendant Pride pool, they actually bring more capital in. And then eventually this is still going to add to the buy and burn anyway. So I think it's really smart doing it, like a 70-30 split. But what were your thoughts on it? And how come you guys went for?
That's very well explained. Yep, it's perfect. Because of the 3 kind of tiered TitanX, DragonX, Ascendant, the 70% is actually roughly around 52% if you like of the overall capital that comes in. So that's kind of similar. It's just slightly more than what Vault does with just TitanX Vault. So we kind of wanted it to be very similar to how Vault kind of how much they dedicated to their treasury.
Sure.
So yeah, that's when we ran the numbers. That's how we came up with it, really.
Sweet. Yeah, that's nice. So
yeah,
guys,
it should last longer.
Yeah,
because more is getting sent into the Pride.
Essentially, yeah, exactly. The way I see it is the Ascendant Pride having a more allocations to the Pride makes it more sustainable long term.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, buying and burning tokens, like, yes, it pushes price up and could increase the value of it, which then makes more come into the auction. But that being said, this Ascendant Pride is still tokens bought off market.
Yeah.
So exactly. It's still pushing volume into the LP, buys it off the market, pushes the ratio up, and then those tokens that just push the ratio up then get basically rotated back into the auction pool. So when the price is higher, you then have more tokens in the auction pool. Users come in and give their TitanX there, and then it's kind of like it. By doing it like this, you allow the system to be more sustainable for a long term. That's the way I see it, and I think Builderly agrees. I think we're on the same page.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Sweet. It just makes it more sustainable. And
Yeah.
it just scales better as you have more participation. Yeah, the more TitanX, the more gets bought up. It increases the price and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's good.
Nice. And yeah, we explained the NFT rewards in the overview section, but just so those who want to see how this breaks down from a percentage wise, you can see here. So 20% of the DragonX that gets bought through this will basically go into these NFT rewards. And if you imagine for a second that the Ascendant price starts to push up, specifically its ratio to DragonX, and then DragonX price goes up in its ratio to TitanX, and you get this situation where, because Ascendant price, because there's such a big lever, it can effectively go up quite quickly and bring in a bunch of TitanX, which is going to buy up this DragonX, and then users get a bunch of rewards. Actually, it would be interesting if the lower down this DragonX ratio goes, at least for the short term, users are going to get potentially more rewards sent to them. So
yeah, if we stay at this level, they're going to get more rewards, and as soon as the DragonX price or the ratio goes up, then the rewards, the DragonX already in the pool, will be worth more when they get claimed.
Yeah. You know, I feel like we need, because we've got so many like auction system protocols on this ecosystem now. I feel like we need one website that just shows you the APR of each one, and then users can go down and just snipe the APR.
I think I mentioned that to Mike Dean actually. If we could have like all the ROIs of all the protocols on like a row or something,
that would be pretty sick.
Yeah, or I think Eric's working on PowerX as well.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I think maybe that might have a similar sort of like farms. It has all the other protocols with the ROIs and stuff.
Yeah, is PowerX gonna work with auctions? I think I remember Eric mentioning it once that he was gonna try and add auctions.
Yeah, I don't know.
Into
I think it's just mining at the moment, but yeah, I'd like to see auctions added to it.
Yeah, if Eric can figure that out, that'd be pretty sick to do. Actually, I remember him saying it to, I think it was on the Matrix live stream with Mike Dean, like their white paper reveal, and he was like, "We might try and add the auction system into PowerX," which will be really bullish, because if influencers show their PowerX
the ROI on the Ascendant auction has just been ridiculous, pretty much all all throughout this period. So
I mean, and that's because users aren't aware, right? Like, people just aren't aware that there's all these auction systems, and you can make some decent ROI in them. People just forget. So having them on central, I think that'll be a wicked idea. If anyone's watching this,
yeah, definitely.
That might be something to get to work on. But yeah, I think we've gone through this, and then obviously you guys understand, the more this goes up in price, then obviously more TitanX comes in, which increases the amount sent to the Ting Ban. And why is this bullish for the ecosystem? If you push the Ting price up, then the APRs on farms go up, and it's actually a marketing leverage for the ecosystem, because if we can market these APRs as being high, then new users can come in and get into the farms, and to do that they have to buy up our tokens, push everything up in price to get in to these farms. And if users are earning more Tink, then like more money on Tink, then it's bullish. It just adds more liquidity to all of the pools, which we've gone past all the liquidity FUD in the last few months, but there doesn't need to be any. But that just further solidifies it, right? Like, that type of FUD was ridiculous. Cool.
I mean, the low liquidity is actually helping the Ascendant price at the moment. It helps keeping the ratio up.
It's a two-way street.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you saw what Richard did recently with the ink stuff.
Oh, he staked a lot, didn't he? And reduced the amount that gets like emissions or something, didn't he?
Yeah, he did that with Hex, but what he did with Ink was, and Eric's been saying this for time, like Ink has admin keys, and you can change the what's it called? The amount that comes out. So I think before it was like 1 per second or something like that, and Richard changed it to 0.1 per second. And the idea behind it at least the way I've understood it, is he wants to lower the APRs on the farms to actually get people to remove that liquidity. So there's thin liquidity, and when there's thin liquidity, things can pump more. So there's all sorts of games that get played here, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So I think we'll go
That's
into
good.
the rewards here for these NFTs. Oh, should we go to rewards or should we go straight to the NFTs? Let's go straight to the NFTs. I think it makes more sense. So we mentioned it on the overview, but you have a rarity system inbuilt to this NFT stuff. So very quickly, for those who just joined now, what is a hybrid NFT? So a hybrid NFT is different to a normal NFT, right? A normal NFT is a picture of a monkey JPEG, and then people gas it up online and somehow make money off it. It's ridiculous to me. But a hybrid NFT is actually backed by tokens. Okay, so the actual NFT itself does have intrinsic value because it's backed by real tokens, which are then backed by other tokens, etc. So you understand how that works. The hybrid NFT has tokens that back it. So for those in this ecosystem, you'll know Element 280. You've watched my streams. I've done lots of streams with Element and Dude and stuff. You would understand that the Element NFTs are backed by tokens. This is similar in the sense that the NFTs in Ascendant are backed by the Ascendant tokens. Okay. And that adds a lot more games to be played with NFTs. It adds more potential value to them. Like if you minted them early on when price of Ascendant is low and then Ascendant rises in price, you've made huge gains on those NFTs. Not many people will be able to mint them by then, right? And then perhaps you can make some crazy gains and sell it on the open market or something like that. So there's a rarity structure inbuilt, and basically you're more likely to mint a male NFT with a male figure on it. There are 7 potential ones you can mint here, only 2 female ones you can mint, and there's only 1 gold. So obviously this is up to the users to give them these prices, but the idea behind it is that the male should be less, theoretically, because they're more common, less in price than the female, and then the gold should kind of be the gold. It's the golden standard. It should be the most prestigious NFT to hold, simply because of the rarity. If you try and mint an NFT, you don't know which one you're going to get, and you could get one of these, or you could get a gold. So yeah,
it's perfect. Yep.
Sweet. And then there's this NFT tier system, right? So the NFT is similar-ish to Element again. So in Element, you have like different tiers. You have like common, rare, and legendary, and then you have the amped versions. This has like basically like a starting off at tier 1, and it goes all the way up to the legendary tier, which is tier 8. Okay. And for those who don't understand like how they got these numbers, so like I said, they're backed by tokens. You can see here, this tier 1 is backed by 7,812.5 Ascendant. I remember when I first looked at the white paper, I was like, seems like a random number, but it's actually not. If you look at the legendary tier, you can see it's backed by 1 million tokens, and then it halves as you go down here. So these are basically, the idea behind it is the cost basis is the same in Ascendant tokens, but you get extra multipliers the further down you go. So your tokens will be backed by potentially more rewards if you mint a higher tier. Is that right?
Yep, that's right. Yep.
Sweet. And as you can see here, guys, the legendary tier will give you a multiplier of 8%. So you get an 8% increase. Technically, that gives you an 8% increase in your shares, okay, in this rewards pool. And the tier 7 is 7%, tier 6 is 6%, tier 5 is 5%, and so on and so forth. But look, guys, Builder Lee was very clever with this, and you know, he knew that maybe not everyone can afford these ones off the bat straight away. So there's some very clever stuff with this. Like if you minted just tier 1s, there's this system in this called Fusion, where you can basically combine different NFTs to level up your NFT into a higher tier, which is pretty sick. Because if you wanted to, they call it power down your NFT. If you wanted to claim back your tokens, you have to pay a tax on it. So it may not be logical to power down and then try and get a bigger NFT. That's not going to work. The only way to do it would be to get 2 NFTs of the same value and power them up. So basically, if you're a brokey, unfortunately, everyone's a brokey. We might all be brokies right now. But if you're a brokey and you can only afford tier 1, then you can level it up. You can get a couple tier 1s and you can make a tier 2. We'll get to this slightly more in a bit. But that's a really cool element that haven't seen it before, and it's a way that people can work up the ladder here to do this. Do you see any strategies with that as of now?
Yeah, the rewards are based on how many tokens are in the or wrapped up in the NFTs as well. So it's always better to try and get the highest tier that you can afford. Of having like 10 tier ones or something, you'd have like 5 tiers to get that more multiplier for the rewards.
Yeah.
And we kind of like, as time goes on, when it's like a year or 2 years down the line, then, you know, I think a big percentage is going to be burnt, and it's going to be, you know, I can't say much about price, but, you know, if there's more necessity, and it's going to be a lot difficult to mint these in the future. So yeah, that's why we've got the tier system.
Yeah, nice. And I don't know who I saw saying, I don't know if it was Cheers or someone on Twitter, but they were saying, or X.com now, someone was saying that, you know, I've been earning like some awards to say that the tier 3, and I was able to get another tier 3 just based off my awards. And then now you got 2 tier 3s, you can level that up to a tier 4.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then as time goes on, you might get a bunch of awards from the tier 4 and be able to level up until you eventually get to this tier 8 system. So yeah, I think it's pretty sick, because users can just start off where they can. You don't need to over leverage yourself. If you can't, you can start off here, play with the game, see if you like the protocol, and if you're earning decent rewards, then you can just work your way up. So
yeah, just upgrade over time.
Yeah, it's gamified, man. It's like gamified now. I like it. I like the gamification, and you've gone for that in the UI as well. The UI is sick, guys. If you want to check out a nice UI, check out this UI on Ascendant. Yeah, so you have these NFTs here, and we'll go to the allocation here. We'll go to the payout rewards. So somewhat similar to the TitanX payout rewards, apart from you haven't got those long ones. There's basically 3 payouts. If you hold that NFC, you'll get payout every 8 days, every 28 days, and every 90 days as well. So there's 3 payouts here, and I believe they have different percentages. This is just a high level overview of it, and this is kind of the allocation percentage wise. 8 day 50%, 28 day is 25%, and 90 days 25%. Is there any reason in particular why the 8 day was like has a high allocation to these two?
It's based on time. So the further out you go, if you have the same percentages for all the days, then the 28 day and the 90 day becomes like ridiculous. Like in my calculations, it was like over, you know, millions. So we kind of we reduced the longer date ones, but because just how, you know, the duration difference between 8 and 28 days and the 90 days. We decided to put more in the 8 day cycle.
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. It's kind of similar to TitanX, like in the sense that the longer payouts have slightly less percent, but
because
then
they build over time, don't they? So you don't need to
these build up over time. So even though it gets a small allocation, over 28
it's still
days,
a big number at the end of the duration.
Cool. And then people can come in, and I think you made it so people can't just snipe the payout, right? There's like a lockup period for your NFT, like a certain amount of time or something.
Yeah, so when you mint an NFT, it's locked for 8 days. So you at least get one 8 day payout. And then after that, if you decide to pare it down or sell it onto you can still sell it on the marketplace during that period.
But we'll get to this in a second, isn't it? Because even if people power down, like even if people rush into Ascendant to get payouts and then power down after, obviously they have to pay a tax on the power down. So
correct. Yeah. So
it
there's
still feeds the system, isn't it?
Yeah, there's 1% transaction tax that gets dedicated to the buy and burn, and then there's the like a 6% tax to power down back into Ascend tokens, and that allocation that then feeds the Ascendant Pride for future auctions.
Nice. So yeah, that's the payout system, and then really we've only got 2 sections left now. I think we've gone through most of it. Yeah, we basically got this stuff. Okay, I think I missed one thing, but it's not a massive deal. We'll get to that in a second. So guys, as I was saying with the fusion, this is sick. Even the name of it is sick. It's like some Dragon Ball Z like vibes here, you know?
Yeah, that's what we're going after. The fusion technique.
Yeah. There's some
combine
Dragon Ball
two
Z
into
vibes
one.
here.
Yeah.
But basically, you know, let's say you're Mr. Shillington, yeah, and Mr. Shillington, he's a bit of a brokey. If you guys follow my streams, you know he lost a bunch of money recently. He's having problems with his girl. Like it's hard times for Mr. Shillington right now. Yeah. Unfortunately, because he lost so much money, he could only afford tier 1 NFTs. But thanks to the fusion technique, he can combine 2 tier 1s. So this is how fusion works. You have to combine your NFT with an NFT that is of equal tier, right? So if you have 2 tier 1s, you can basically combine them. Diffusion, you can meditate in a cave, some say for thousands of years, but this protocol allows you to do it very quickly and allows you to combine them into a tier 2. And that's basically a way of upgrading them. You might think, what's the point of doing this, right? Well, the point of doing this is on a tier 2, you get more shares because you have a higher multiplier. So it makes more sense if you have multiple of these to claim into this. And actually, a question I have, is it gas efficient as well? Because let's say you had tons of tier 1s, right? Would it be gas efficient to combine them into like tier 2s? Because I know with like things like Element, when you're claiming NFTs and you've got multiple NFTs to claim awards from, it's slightly more pricey on the gas, right? That's why if you're on Element, you don't.
That's true here
mint.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you've got loads of lower tier, each NFT holds the rewards. So each time you claim, it's going to be, if you've got more NFTs, then the gas is going to be slightly more. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always good to get the highest tier that you can afford.
Yeah. So if you are a bit of a whale in the system, then it makes sense to level up to slightly, you know, higher. You get more multiplier, and also
it's more gas efficient.
More gas, more gas efficient there. So sweet. That's pretty sick. I love this edition. We might even show the UI in a second because I think the UI looks absolutely amazing. And I think that is mostly it. And we mentioned briefly with the marketplace. So Mr. Shillington, he wants to sell his NFT. He's made a bit of money. And I believe there's 2 ways of obviously getting rid of the NFT, right? You can sell it on the open market. So there's that way, I believe OpenSea or Titan Legends.
That's right. Yeah. And then you can sell it for Ethereum or TitanX. So yeah, you can list it for either.
Sweet. Yeah. So yeah, you can go back into Ethereum or TitanX, which is good because actually it reduces sell pressure. Like let's say you just want to get into TitanX, you can just sell on the open market and get straight back into TitanX. You don't need to sell the tokens and worry about any of that.
Yeah.
And then the NFT redemption, I believe it's called like power down. And basically when you do this, you go from, so your NFTs are backed by tokens, right? When you redeem it, you redeem back your tokens, but you lose the NFT. And when you do that, you get a 6% tax. And the Ascendant tokens, that tax gets into the Ascendant Pride system.
That's right. We wanted to kind of we wanted people to sell their NFTs for TitanX and Ethereum. So anyone outside of the ecosystem can just go to the marketplace and look at what's available and just buy the NFT with their Ethereum if they wanted to and get DragonX rewards. And then the tax was just kind of we wanted to make the protocol more sustainable and Yeah, it's just an additional thing to feed the future auctions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it protects, like, if people use the marketplace instead of the power down, it protects the price more as well.
Yeah. If people sell on, it does, because those tokens would be effectively locked away in the NFTs. So it's a sick way of getting a low amount of liquid supply.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and just for those who may not be clear on this, because people obviously know about Element and stuff. With Element, you had like a 28-day mint phase for the NFTs and stuff, and for the token as well. With Ascendant, I believe you can buy or enter the auction of Ascendant at any time, and anytime you can get an NFT, right?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime you can. You can enter the auction anytime. You can buy them off the market anytime. You can mint the NFTs at any time. So, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And I mean, the market cap guys of Ascendant now. Let me actually check it. I know it's on the lower end, which means that right now you can easily get a share of these NFTs. Let's have a
I
look.
think tier ones go for $1 at the moment. They're really
Whoa!
cheap. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Let's see. Just find it.
So what I've been doing is just entering the auction every day, and then just keep on minting more tier 8s.
Oh yeah.
Got quite a few now. But so if the protocol does really badly, then I feel the same pain as everyone else. But
There we go.
but if it kind of gives me more motivation to make sure the protocol does really well.
Yeah. Like, I think the fundamentals of the protocol are really good. So even if the participation is low now, I believe that once this ecosystem starts to see green candles and things go crazy bullish again, I mean, DragonX was at 100 million market cap. I don't know what it is now, but when things get back to these levels and exceed them, then these protocols still have solid fundamentals. They're gamified. They've got good UIs. It has everything in place, in my opinion, to be successful. So, I think it's bullish right now to get in on these low market cap projects in this ecosystem. So that's my 2 cents. Not financial advice. It's only my opinion, right? But yeah, nothing I give is financial advice. Who knows? Tomorrow something crazy might happen. So we're lucky any of this stuff works, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Cool.
So cheap.
Yeah, it's crazy cheap. So the market cap guys of Ascendant is 200k, I believe, around that level. Which means you could probably mint like tier 8s like really cheaply. Like really, really cheaply. Do you know how much a tier 8 costs roughly right now? I mean, it's what, 1 million tokens. Let me just check this. I want to check this. By the way, if anyone's in chat has any questions, drop them in. We'll get to questions shortly because we've been through the diagram. Let's just check the...
Yeah, we don't need to go through the white paper because these diagrams are really good.
Thanks, man.
We've been through all of it, so yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's 1 million tokens, right?
Yep, for a tier 8.
So that's $178 for tier 8. That's a bargain.
That's ridiculous. Yeah,
that's crazy. That is crazy. So there you go, guys. $178 right now gets you a legendary 8 tier, which gives you 8% multiplier. And like I said, not financial advice, but what happens when TitanX runs and DragonX runs? We saw a baby DragonX. The protocols are bonded to it. At the end of the day, guys, they're bonded to these protocols, right? And DragonX is really seen as a blue chip. It has an absolutely amazing team behind it, and they're building more utility. And there's still the Ethan waiting for the buy and burn, and all these kind of future bullish catalysts are coming up soon. Obviously, we know USDX launching tomorrow, and I'm sure DragonX could be a supply sink for DragonX there as well. So there's a lot going on in the ecosystem right now. But yeah, I like these I like underrated stuff, man. I like to buy stuff when it's underrated, because that's where you make the most profit. So
yeah, there's so many bullish catalysts coming up soon. Can't wait for tomorrow as well. USDX.
Oh man, yeah, so hyped, bro. I can't wait for that. And I think the only thing we missed It's just about the buy and burn. So I just put in here the details about the buy and burn after mint phase or after the 10-day auction. Essentially 15%. So it's a fully decentralized buy and burn. This isn't a buy and burn that is controlled by any like Genesis or anything like that. So there shouldn't be any FUD on that end. 15% of the buy and burns each day, and it's similar to like I believe Inferno buy and burn or even Shogun buy and burn. It's split into like 288 parts, and then those parts are called every 5 minutes. And let's say it's not doing, let's say the buy and burn right now doesn't cover the cost to call it, then these will stack up right every 5 minutes, and eventually
that's right.
we'll go and call it. So that's the way that works there, and it's fully decentralized, like I said. So really, that's the details there. I don't know if you want to quickly have a little look at the UI before we call it a day, because I think the UI,
go for it. Yep, let's bring it up and see what the stats are like.
Let's have a look. Let me just bring this up, guys. So let's stop sharing my screen and bring this one up here. Sweet. You know, when I do these streams, I only have like 2 USB ports on my laptop. So I have to unplug my my mouse, and then I'm doing everything with trackpad, and I hate using trackpads. So this stuff takes longer than usual because I have to like drag and drop things all over the place, like tabs and stuff. Okay. Let me just share this now. I got it. Hopefully everyone's seeing this. Let's take a second to appreciate this, guys. We've got some Goku Super Saiyan inspired UI here. This stuff is sick, man. Yeah, you guys did a very, very good job on these.
Thanks, man. Yeah, the designers did a really good job. Really pleased with it.
Yeah, man.
So sick.
Anyone else like building in this ecosystem? Like, yeah, anyone else building in this ecosystem? My advice to you is, you're building a project. I know it's cost a lot and there's so much things you have to pay for, but putting some love into the UI and getting some good designers to do the stuff, in my opinion, for the users, it makes a big difference. If you have a clean, crisp, like just beautiful looking UI, just from the user perspective, it makes a big difference. And I think having a site that users like to go to and it looks nice and it's pretty and it's fast and all these things, I think that's a little underrated bullish thing for things, because when things look nice, I like to open them and have them open on my tab, and then I see the auction's got positive ROI, and then I enter it. And yeah.
Yeah, we're going to keep on improving it as well. We're adding more to the landing page to kind of explain more what TitanX is, what DragonX is for new users, because we've got a few other things that we're building that'll hopefully increase adoption and stuff. So yeah, we want to be ready for new users, really.
Yeah, exactly. And you guys can see here, so this is the auction page. You enter your TitanX, and then you get the Ascendant. So it's I like that it's TitanX, because at the end of the day, the TitanX is going to go and buy up DragonX and do all that cool stuff. And so yeah, the auction here. So you come in here, select the TitanX, and I believe this emblem you hit to select Ethereum if you want to use ETH instead.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's a very nice, easy to understand UI. That's exactly what people want. You can see the current auction stats here, stuff like that, claimable amount. So I believe once you enter the auction, you can claim it from down here. And then you got the buy and burn page. So this is what confused me when I first looked at this. I was like, wait a second, there's only like one.
There's one function.
Like
what's going on? Yeah,
it's all built
into one.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's kind of sustaining itself as well, which is really impressive. So yeah, no, really, really pleased with that so far. Day 18, and yeah, we're working on a new like AI agent, which hopefully will boost the marketing front on X and Telegram, and then in phase 2 of that, hopefully we'll implement like a trading bot. So the revenue from that will then refill the buy and burn, which will then increase the DragonX rewards and the buy and burn and stuff. So
you guys hear
that? Yeah, there's a lot here. Yeah, It's called Goku AI, and yeah, hopefully within the. I mean, it's not ready yet, but hopefully in the future you'll see him just continuously 24/7, just ball posting all the time, and hopefully he'll be able to easily create user wallets and stuff and allow people to trade and stuff. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. Really excited for it.
That's sick, man. Yeah, that's sick. That's really cool. That's there you go, guys. I was saying this before we went live briefly that but the builders, you guys understand the builders in this ecosystem of these guys are relentless, man. These guys don't stop. It's like they build a protocol and then it's like, all right, next thing, next thing, next thing, next thing. These guys are absolutely relentless. Like shout out to these guys, man. These guys don't take a break. And like I was saying in the as we went live, like Builder Lee, this guy is so active in the community. So shout out to him. Like he's always on Twitter.
Thanks, man.
X.com, always like
Appreciate it.
liking tweets and this guy's active. Like I have a lot of respect for it because it must take a lot of time to be so active. So I respect it. But yeah, man. So this is the Binance page. You got the mint page here on the NFTs. So if you want to go down here, mint some stuff.
That's it. Yeah. And that shows how many tokens you lock up and stuff.
Yeah.
What the multiplier is for your DragonX rewards. Yeah. And that's kind of you can mint 5 at a time, and it's randomly generated the images. So
sweet,
cool.
sweet.
Yeah,
the images look pretty sick here. I think
Sal Vega did the images. Yeah, and then the designers did the like the glowing kind of, and then the card sort of. Yeah, they made them stand out really well.
Yeah, they stand out nicely. Just these little touches are so important, I think, because if you just had some, some dead images, it just doesn't. You want to feel like, oh, like this is, this is nice. So having a good design, just these little details, I love these things.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Okay, let's just go to the payout page. So that's for the rewards here. So you can see the different payouts. So I believe this is an overview of your awards, what you're going to be getting. And then you've got the 8-day payout, 28-day payout, and the 90-day payout.
So if you scroll all the way up, it shows the global paid out so far, and we've almost did 5,000 rewards.
Yeah.
So
nice.
It is a tiny protocol. We've got like 132 users at the moment. So as more people join, hope it will scale and you'll see more like rewards and more buying and all that sort of stuff. So
best of luck to you guys. I mean, I've seen protocols that are tiny and they've exploded like crazy. So everyone starts with something tiny, and then it just like an example I can give of that
project as well.
So. Yeah, and he's done a great job. And like I was saying, like PTC when it came out was tiny, UFL was tiny, and now everyone loves them. So that's just how these things work sometimes. And then this is the collection. So if you want to go and do the fusion, I believe you can see your inventory, basically all the NFTs you have here.
Yeah.
And you can even select the tier you want to look at. And then you got the fusion. So if you want to upgrade them, and then the stats page. Look at this.
10% ready.
10%.
Yeah.
NFT back 37%. So the liquid is only 26%. And the reason why it's only 26% is because you've got 37, nearly 40% is backed by the NFTs.
It's a massive amount, yeah.
Yeah. Massive
amount. I think E280 managed to have like 95% locked up at one point. It was crazy, yeah.
Oh yeah, that was mint phase. Crazy times. The liquid ascent supply here. So actually the liquid supply is super slim. So if you guys want to get a position, is a cheap time to get a position.
Yeah.
And then the marketplace and the calculator here. I believe this is pretty cool.
Yeah, this was added after launch. So this is just one of the improvements that we're adding as well. And we'll continue to keep on improving the page.
Shares.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So you can actually come in here and basically see what you're going to mint. This is really nice.
Thanks,
if you minted a couple of these, you can kind of see your awards in DragonX, shares. Yeah, I like that because it's like in TitanX, right? When the calculator's there,
Yeah, that's it.
it's just an easy way for people to go and check their payouts. And as soon as times become bullish, when you make it easier for the user to see what they're gonna get, then it kind of creates that inner FOMO in the person, right?
If you take a look at the marketplace,
and they got the marketplace as well. Let's have a look at this one. Cool.
See what's available.
So
okay.
Oh, so you got a marketplace built in, is that right?
Yeah, it's a native marketplace on the website.
Whoa, there you go. Look at that, guys. Native marketplace. This is some high tier stuff right here. That's sick. So that's what's on the marketplace, right? So there's 2 tier ones.
If you increase the price range,
yeah,
that's it.
There we go.
There we go. Now you can see all of them.
Oh yeah, so you got tier 4, tier 8. Oh, that's a female one. Oh yeah, so if people want to, let's say you get a gold, you can stuff on that marketplace. You know what I mean?
30 billion TitanX as well.
Yeah. Look at that.
And then you've got the filters and stuff, like the common, rare, and legendary on the left hand side. You can see the pages as well. So, yeah, they did it. The devs did a really good job, I think.
So would legendary just show you the tier
the golden images? Yep.
Okay, the golden images. Okay. So that's basically based off the rarity. So the commons would be the male.
Yeah.
And then the rares are the female. Oh, I see that now. And then you got the legendaries, the gold.
That's it.
Sweet.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
Guys, we have some insane stuff built on this ecosystem. Like, like this stuff is so insane. Like it's honestly it's well done to you guys. Like you guys put in some serious work into this.
Thanks, man. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, serious thought. Like, fair play to you guys, man. Like fair play.
Yeah, we wanted to kind of leave our mark on the TitanX ecosystem. I think we did a good job at that, really.
Yeah.
This is our first project, and we're going to keep on building on it. And that's it, really. If you want to get updates, join the Telegram. We'd love to answer any questions you have, really.
Yeah. So if you guys struggle finding Telegrams, it's really easy. Go to TitanX Hub. If you find Ascend, there's a link to their Telegram there on the main page when you look at the dashboard. And that's that. And I want to say a quick thank you to everyone who joined. We've got Mr. Woodall, one of the number one supporters. We've got Keto Natural. And Keto Natural looks like he's getting excited about the protocol here, especially about that Roy page. I think that's a sick thing.
Yeah, we should add that somewhere. Yeah,
that'd be sick. That'll be a good project to work on.
Keto's one of the OGs as well back in the day.
Yeah, Keto is an OG. Keto's an OG. Yeah, respect to Keto. Were you in the TitanX pre-day one in the Telegram?
No, I was like day 3, I think. So I was a little bit late, but I did that. Yeah, on day 3, I minted or created a bunch of max miners, and then I did the ladder and all that sort of stuff as well. So as soon as I watched the video of and like the spreadsheets and the white paper, it was just I knew what needed to be done.
Nice one, man. So thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
It's been a great pleasure having you guys on and talking through your protocol. I think it's really awesome stuff, and I can see you guys put in some hard work. So best of luck for everything in the future and everything in the future you're building. Obviously, I'm more than happy to do any future streams with you.
Yeah, let's do it.
With anything else in the future. So that sounds good to me. Thank you everyone for coming on, for watching the stream. I know it got delayed a bit, but these things kind of happen.
Yeah.
And so shout out to everyone, wherever you are. If it's nighttime, have a good night. If it's morning, have a good morning. Afternoon, have a good afternoon. And guys, I'll wrap it up here. Take care.
Yeah, take care, everyone. See you later.
See you.